impressive performance by Corey Batoon and the rest of his staff and players. Congratulations, Brady Cook passed Blaine Gabbert for number 6 all-time in Mizzou passing. Theo Weiss had a career night in receptions and receiving yards, so very congratulations to them. Luther Burden has been dealing with the illness all week after he scored his touchdown. Just didn't feel good. We didn't feel like it was worth putting him back in the game, so head that question off right there. And, yep, with that, what else y'all want to know?
Coach, with Theo Weiss, you mentioned him.
Yeah.
What can you share? What did you see from him tonight, the offense that made him able to?
Yeah, I mean, they were giving us a lot of free access stuff, and so I think that's a sign of a mature quarterback and play caller to continue to take what the defense gives us. The frustrating thing for us offensively was we weren't able to sustain drives because of penalties. We had 2 punts and 2 missed field goals, which, both the field goals were, just poor execution. We should have been a lot closer at the end of half, and just some still things that we got to clean up. But pleased with Theo's job and Brady taking advantage of it.
Do you have any updates on Cameron Johnson? What did you think of the job Mitchell Walters did?
Yeah, Cam got injured in a 2-minute drill on Wednesday. Probably could have gone. He was planning to play in case of emergency, but just didn't want to risk it. So, Mitch Walters got the start tonight. I thought he performed well from what I can recall. Obviously, he had the 1 penalty, but for the most part, I thought he did a nice job.
Coach, speaking of the penalties, specifically the holding call.
Yeah.
Is there a common denominator there?
Yeah.
Detail-oriented issues, combination of both?
Yeah, common denominator was we were the only team holding tonight. They didn't get any penalties called on them. I think it was 10-2. So got to go back and look at it to see the tape, to see exactly what their emphasis was. So I don't know. I couldn't see him on the film or on live, but I'm sure after I go back and watch the tape, I'll see that we got to do a better job of not holding.
Eli, you talked about the defense, but you haven't allowed to play longer than 18 yards. Just the consistency.
And that was before half, right, on the inside slant that Toriano jumped.
I think
Yeah.
one of the runs right at the end. But, basically every play they've been consistent. Just how impressive has that been with so many new faces and a new coach to hit the ground running this quickly?
Yeah, I think it's our ability to – we got a lot of depth over there and a lot of consistency and a lot of guys holding each other to a standard. And I think when you can just send waves of players who are fresh continually, I think that's, hard on an offense. And obviously Coach Batoon and Coach Smith have a really good feel for the game. Coach Yarrow and Coach Pogue on the back end. Obviously Sack Ave came alive tonight with I think we had 3 DNs with sacks. I think Chris McClellan he told me he got another one. I don't know if it's official or not. But so obviously the front is doing a good job.
Coach, what do you make of Brady through 2 games?
We're 2-0. We scored 38 and 51, so he scored 31. So very efficient. Does a really nice job of tucking it and running it when we need to. Thought he had an excellent read on the deep ball to Marquise that got a penalty. So yeah, I'm pleased with where we're at. We just, we're not clicking at 100% just yet. So that's good news, man. That's really good news for us. I'd hate for us to be as good as we're going to be all year.
Before Luther went out, he was doing jet sweeps, reverses, he's lining up in the backfield and all such stuff.
Huh.
What's his versatility do for the offense?
Well, it shows up when he's not there that we don't have quite the same repertoire stuff. So, he's a guy that we've got to continue to get the ball to. And I thought I thought our offensive staff had a nice job of having that plan ready for him. But obviously we got to continue to get other people involved. I thought Mookie had a nice run down there on the last touchdown. It must have been the 3rd quarter. There was a play that we had designed for Luther, but with him being out, Mookie was able to get in there and run it. So that was good. And, we can use him in some of those opportunities. I think he eclipsed 1,000 yards career receiving, so pretty impressive stat by him today.
Coach, you mentioned about the ground game tonight.
The ground game?
Yep.
I thought we were doing a really good job. Obviously, 10 penalties is always going to be an issue. Several of them were alignment issues. I mean, we had 3 called back because we either weren't on or we had too many people on, and those are self-inflicted wounds that got to get cleaned up and put us behind the chains. But I thought when we needed to run it, we were able to run the football. And I thought, both Marcus and Nate did a really good job complimenting each other. I think one had 86 and one had, 75 and 62, so pretty good.
As you said, Coach, Brady reaches the passing accomplishment tonight. Can you go into a little more detail as far as how you watched him evolve as to when to tuck it and run, the decisiveness, the decision-making there on the ground?
Yeah, I think it's just maturity. I think he's maturing to understand when he needs to make a throw, and when everybody's covered, he's not. I think he understands that his feet give him a dimension that is really difficult on defenses. When a quarterback can tuck and run the ball, it really puts you in a bind playing man-to-man, and make sure you have to really rush with lane discipline. And a lot of third down pressures now are overload pressures, junking up the front, and if you're not lane sound against Brady, he's going to take off. In fact, today's touchdown right before half was actually supposed to be a tight end throwback, and the tight end didn't release. And so for him to tuck and go score right there, unbelievable block by Nate. But, I think another player who hasn't had the reps or consistency would have panicked and maybe thrown the ball away. He understood, where the ball and where the void in the defense was, and made a heck of a play.
Speaking of maturity, a lot of teams in the first 2 weeks either come very close to or do slip up in games that they're big favorites. What's it say about your team that have been able to come out and kind of focus just on this week and take care of business?
Yeah, I mean, that was actually the pregame speech, was take advantage of opportunities, and don't disrespect the fans or the game by assuming that the other team's not going to play. We got to play as hard as we possibly can, and really proud of those guys tonight.
Coach Gilmore had 3 quarterback hits now that passed the bunch. What is it like to see him kind of come on, and what does that say about the depth of the DN room?
Yeah, really pleased with the way Joe has responded. I think he's continually been a guy who can play and create pressure, and continuing to play really good football. And we gave a game ball to Eddie Kelly tonight. Eddie's mom passed away unexpectedly Wednesday. She was here the week before at the game and went home and had a medical emergency after practice on Wednesday and passed away. And for him to still be here and for our team to play the way they did around him tonight, whether it was the defense, and that's who they said they were playing for, was a special, special moment and a special thing for this brotherhood. And that's what goes back to the opportunity. That's why we were so you just don't know. Life is precious. And, you don't understand why, but I do understand that God brought him here to be a part of our brotherhood for us for this moment in time. And so y'all got to watch something special tonight for our team to play, our defense to play like that for Eddie. So